Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the Link to the Past Randomizer Open League, Season 5. Today we have a matchup between Zelda and Chill and It's Always Sunny in Pendant Pod. Representing Zelda and Chill is Amarith, and representing It's Always Sunny in Pendant Pod is Kuchiri. I'm Professor Render, and joining me is my good friend Breadcoon. How you doing?
Hi, hello. I'm doing pretty alright this afternoon.
That's good. So this is week 6. This is Pseudo Boots Cross Keys. We're almost there. We're almost there until get to the playoffs. Um, we we're looking at a matchup here that is from the Tower Division. Currently, Zelda and Chill is sitting with 9 points, and It's Always Sunny and Pendant Pod is working off of 15 points. This division's already had been sorted out with who's going out of the playoffs into playoffs. We're already starting here.
And starting with the same opener from both players. Going off almost pretty much like an opener, honestly.
Yeah, so in case people are coming into this and don't know what the pseudo boots component is with cross keys. So this is a thing where you do have some form of boots, but you can't bonk open any bonk rocks or do any checks with it. You're only allowed to dash with it, and that's practically all you can do. There's a few more things you can do with it, but primarily it's just the dash.
Yeah, it's just a dash, mostly just for moving fast. There's a couple places you can bonk. Most notable being in like GT getting to Bob's Torch the normal way instead of, doing the intended way of going across the invisible bridge. You can just bonk that gap. And it looks like Sank is at Pyramid today.
This is always one of the more interesting Sank's positions because you have some form of dark world access in some capacity. It's early on, so you have a number of checks you can do there. When you have mirror, you have the top of the castle tower, but also
the Hyrule Castle Small is right there.
Oh,
you don't have to worry about climbing.
That's always one of the nice things about this is that if you get an early castle tower small, or Hyrule Castle Small, you have a good shot at well, you don't have to worry about doing anything with the sewers and stuff. Or well, I guess you can do the sewers, but I don't know where I'm going with this. But anyway, I also want to make sure I just had this right too. This match in particular has very much has some significance here. So if Amarith were doing this today, then NDA has a chance to go ahead and lock up the top 2 tomorrow for the Tower of Hera division. There already is one, already one team that has clinched playoffs, as we find Fire Rod in the front of Escape.
Yeah, but not enough bombs or magic to really take it all away for now. But actually, the Fire Rock doesn't put the Dark Cross on logic, because if I remember, cross keys, this whole branch needs lamp. But we at least have an easy way of getting through the front and the back once we get some magic anyway.
We also did see from Kuchiri's side that we did find the top of the castle. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that now. Kuchiri finds Agina's cave, and that gives out a big key for Ice Palace. Not necessarily required, but it is a big key that it's nice to hold on to, just if you're looking to full clear a dungeon. And it looked like Amarith found the way into Pod.
Yeah, Dark Tower Castle Middle's Dark Flute 5 position.
Yep, and even more ways into the pod area because we found the front of the old main spawn point. The monkey
We have a lot of easy ways into East Dark World right now, apparently. Hey, look, and and a mini Moldorm cave. So Amarith does not have any bombs to really do anything here right now. Nor did Amarith pick up that Amarith did not pick up that fire rod out of the front of the escape. I'm assuming her plan is to have some weapons to just do it all at once.
Yeah, that she is looking for some weapon of some capacity. There is a fire rod, but that we know of, but that she doesn't. But there's
I think
it
she
is
needs
magic.
some bombs. Once she gets some bombs, I'm sure she'll do it.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of bombs,
Yeah, she could buy an expensive bomb pack right here, and I'd honestly consider it.
and it looked like that was what ice and pod for the 5.6s, or
Yes.
Meyer and 5.
Myron Pod.
Okay. I did see pod was one of them. Didn't see what the other one was.
So sadly, it won't be Always Sunny in Pendant Pod because it's in fact a crystal.
So, Amarith will continue to do these bunny blocks because these are considered in logic by the game, and we do find Turtle Rock lapped, which is something that she could proceed to go for, but it would be out of logic if she bunny revives.
It'd be out of logic, and honestly, right now, really slow. You still have a lot more opener to do. It's fine to leave it, I think.
Right. It's one of those things where cross keys is a very volatile mode. Like in general, it's a very volatile mode, minus the pseudo-books component. We do find GT at the Dark Chapel spawn points inverted.
And look like just a full heart in the back of the tavern. Which, I'll take it. And a chess game, which Kuchiri does not have the money Amarith has, so we'll have to leave that for now.
Yeah, and this is why some players will opt to go for the hula hand at the start off, because that gives you the 225 rupees, and that's a good way to start off if you found a game like the chess game.
Two nice small keys to have for now. Another location that Kuchiri just kind of... Well, Kuchiri can see what the bottom is, but he doesn't have enough bombs to actually get the item down here. Some more bombs, which I'm sure he would love to have right now, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's not only it's just the lack of bombs, but also no magic for that fire rod, which would have given him those 3 bombs. You
don't know how often those 3 bomb packs can come in clutch at the start of a seed. Until you reach situations like this where you run into multiple locations where you're like, man, I really wish I had a bomb right now.
Right. We did find the Blind's Hut in the Dark Lumberjack here in the Dark World, and we also end up finding over on Kuchiri's side mini Moldorm Cave.
Opting to use the bee to actually kill the Moldorms instead of selling it to the bottle vendor, but honestly, I think that's worth it. There you go, get an ice rod. So we have both rods already.
It's your only main weapon that you could use for just to get these items. You don't have anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and while it's nice, it would have been nice to have to sell the 100 rupees. If you were to do that, then and you find mini Moldorm Cave, it's like, oh, well, I just got 100 rupees, and now I can't really use it for anything. Like, can't do this mini Moldorm Cave. I have to come back for it later.
Amarith attempted to do the worst room in the game at minimum equipment. Not a fun situation to be in, but I mean, I understand it.
It is a play that it is it is particularly common if you're comfortable doing this, and ends up getting wall mastered in the process, trying to take out the other Bari. Kuchiri uses this opportunity to stock up on bombs, considering that he did find the graveyard ledge here on the right entrance of the Cat Elder.
Oh yeah, no, it's honestly probably one of the best locations for him right now. He finally gets those bombs that he wants so badly.
This gives Kuchiri another item in a way.
Oh,
Which
bombos.
Yeah, Bombos here in the Stalfos room, or Begibda room rather. Sorry. There is a big key that Kuchiri found at the lumberjack cave, which is the well that leads to Desert Palace.
Well, it's nice, especially with that fire rod. It's nice to have early because you can, if you find the back of desert, you could just go do it. Don't think about it.
And it looks like Amarith finds out that this is a drop down Skull Woods. So you gotta play. Where's the drop down that I need to get to the back? And I hope to God it's not a one way.
Well, Amarith does win the roulette. Just got a death warp here. This is one of the more ideal locations to land.
And in Skullwoods is as the dungeon is interesting because it's you come up with a hammer. You come up with a hammer here, which is very nice. It is out of logic, but here's what I think. The only logic you really care about in cross keys is Moonpark logic. That's it.
I mean, there's definitely a lot more logic you can easily consider. Sometimes, honestly, for me personally, I usually consider if I find something weird out of logic, it becomes what important items am I missing to get to this position, and just kind of work backwards from it. This is at least how I do it.
Right, and with this being cross keys, or at least an entrance mode, for cross keys components, it's
full magic off the bush crabs. That's really convenient.
Well, the key standing component. Yeah, that's nice. With the key standing components, you find out that there will be a small key that's placed there, no matter what. I think it's just entrance in general. I forget the details, but it's since the entrance stuff, right, it is entrance logic. Okay, good. So entrance's logic has it so that a small key will be forced there regardless. Inside the Skullwoods pinball room regardless. It's because it runs off of an older logic.
It's a sort of not like it's technically not soft lock if you fall down and you don't have a key, but it lets you continue Skullwoods even if you get basically the worst drop down, where you have to spend a key to leave.
Right. Yeah.
So it gives you the key to leave, which then lets you hit the other drop downs if you need. You aren't truly soft lock, but it's kind of like an anti-soft lock thing.
Right. Yeah. That's what it is. So with that hammer in tow, this means Amarith will go ahead and work on the front of escape. That will result in her fire rod.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna pick up this fire rod here and go, man, I wish I had this in Skullwoods. And proceed to do the rest of escape. Just a regular old hammer escape that I'm sure anybody who's played Standard has done at some point. Just has to be a bit careful, but Amarith does have a fairy in a bottle, so even if she does take an accidental death here, it's not the end of the world. And honestly, she plans on Death Warp, and she's gonna need to get rid of the fairy one way or another.
Oh, there's
Hey,
no
look.
pro.
Okay, well that puts that hammer in logic. We have access to North Dark World. We have the castle, the Hyrule Castle Small, just sitting there in the open, and there we go.
So this is so what I'm logic I believe is you just need you need that fire rod and then some magic to get that moon pearl. Like it's like from what we know.
Well, yeah, the game assumes you have infinite magic, and that fire rod is accessible with nothing. So,
Yes.
Yep, and here's a Death Warp.
Okay, so at this point now, Amarith has a lot of stuff to do with that Dark World.
Come here. Ice Rod was in Mini Moldorm Cave, which was in one of the CAC entrances. One of the many entrances in CAC has Mini Moldorm, which has Ice Rod.
The game did not have anything of note after Kuchiri came back to check that because at the time didn't have enough money. Kuchiri will go ahead and activate that flute in the process.
Yeah, the early flute is really nice to have. The flute sometimes doesn't mean a ton in cross keys, but it's honestly really convenient the earlier you have it. Especially it lets you hit a lot of out of the way areas.
It is
It's a little bit
easier.
easier.
It is time dependent. Like if you get it early, then it's really nice. If you get it late, then it's more so. It opens up a handful of entrances if there's no connector that leads out to Mire, which I believe can happen. I think.
Yeah, if you don't have a connector to Mire, then the flute can become a requirement.
Okay. So
Or there could just be nothing in Mire anyway, and the flute just isn't really needed. And there's generally always going to be a connector onto the mountain in some way.
Of course, yeah. So Kuchiri checking in Spiral Cave, that didn't have anything, but this is so Kuchiri finds out where this spits them out, and which we know from Amarith that was Village of Outcasts.
If Kuchiri opts to end up going back to Hyrule Castle soon, and he could clear Skull Woods and actually even get to check the entrance in the back that Amarith had to leave from Bunny walking it.
So,
but it looks like Kuchiri is probably gonna do these entrances and probably check Skull Woods anyways, because I mean it's right there.
Right, and here's Kuchiri finding out about Paradox Cave, and in the process, Amarith is working on doing the Dark Cross check. With no fire rod, this is somewhat annoying, but it can be somewhat managed. Oh wow! Come up with flippers.
Alright, now Amarith just needs to make it to the back, which at this health situation is a little precarious. Trying to hit the stupid rats. And honestly, probably hoping to get a random health drop out of that cluster.
So to answer a question from the chat, Kuchiri is playing as Mega Man X, or just X from the Mega Man X games. The bunny sprite is the hologram of Dr. Light, who gives the power-ups, the special power-ups during the game.
Okay, Amarith does have a fire rod. Does have enough magic for a fire rod shot over here, so
ends up missing the shot, trying to light the torch up.
Is that the key? That's the key. Almost there. This is precarious. I think Amarith will die in one more hit at this point.
Yeah, Amarith was at a quarter heart at that point. So another rat hit would have been enough to die.
Amarith is gonna take another crack at it. At least has the Dark Cross item. That's one worry done. Meanwhile, we have Kuchiri up on the mountain, doing the normal mountain checks. What entrances we're gonna get? We're gonna find back of Old Man Escape. Go rescue the old man, because who needs a lamp anyway?
Yeah, we do.
The little refill rat hut, which is convenient for him, honestly.
Yeah, I've actually called this one the bomb rat because that's kind of what it is. You get bombs here, and it's got rats there. And the upper Norfair cross game portal, if you're playing SMC3, is just, I believe, the lumberjack house, which that doesn't really mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're playing Pottery Lottery, which is that's way besides the scope of the league.
Yeah, when are we gonna get Pottery Lottery in League?
Pottery Lottery is fun. As we find Hype Cave here on Kuchiri side, we get a swamp big key. And Quake. Okay. Not terrible in a way. Medallions aren't really necessarily required by to finish the game like it is with regular modes. All it really does in entrance modes is that it just opens up an entrance. And that's it. Amarith just having a lot of trouble with just trying to get to this back of escape.
Yeah. At this point, it almost feels like sunk cost of I've already died 3 or 4 times doing this. At this point, I just need to get whatever's back here. And I get it. It's a bit rough with just hammer and 3 hearts.
So to summarize what Pottery Lottery is just like in like 3 to 5 words. It's like take every pot is just could be anything. It's just it's part of the shuffle. So pots could have have actual required items from it. It's more than 3 to 5 words, but the point is you can't. That's kind of what the point is.
All right, so Amarith makes it past the ropes with the heart and either heart and a quarter. So it has 4 more hits to take. A lot more comfortable than just, 1 hit to take. There we go. Gets the torch lit up. This is the run. Just don't die to your own bomb. There we go. For 20 bucks, a big key to Skull that Amarith wishes she had when she went back there. And we find Eastern at Saha's hut.
Not too far away from its vanilla location, really.
Yeah, it's like a little French vanilla. So Kuchiri will not Zelgad out of Eastern and is opting to do the checks.
I will never Zelga EP Eastern Palace whenever I find it.
I've done it in a couple scenarios, but that's usually in where I'm like, oh well, I'm just looking for Eastern Palace big and like one other thing. I'm just gonna opt to just avoid it and just look. I hope I find Eastern Palace big somewhere else.
It's also dependent on if you really want to do it with if you really want to do when you're in a bunny state. If you really want to just like bunny revive it, and in that case, you'd probably Zelga EP it.
And Kuchiri getting the very rare sneaky pots underneath that little ledge there to get some extra hearts. The sneaky pots that can sometimes catch you off guard in pottery. Yeah, True Pahan's really fun.
Yeah, that's personally one of my favorite modes from Avian Arts.
Oh yeah, it was just really fun to run. It was stupid. It was great. I loved every second of it.
Definitely. Okay, enough polyglot stuff. We need to talk about Pseudo Boots cross keys here. This Amarith finds Eastern Balance and will also not Zelda EP it.
So far, EP hasn't really pulled anything. We'll see. The big key chest has anything of real note.
Cherry wanted to play it safe and not go for the damage boost here.
Oh, we get a big key to thieves. That is a good one to have.
Yeah, it is necessary to get to the back, and if this ends up leading to
I mean, we have a hammer early too, so if we do find the small key, it will become a full clearable dungeon.
Yeah, and this is one of the, and that's one other thing too. If you have like a small key before you find a dungeon that is like full on necessary, like that Thieves Town small key, then you're fine. Then like it really makes it makes a bit of it. Just by the time you find Thieves Town, you're just like, okay, we can full clear this. Perfect. I don't have to like have the Thieves Town big chest is sitting in my head rent free, just kind of egging me on.
And we find, I'm surprised Kuchiri didn't just go up and check what the item was.
Yeah,
or has he seen the other? Or has he seen it? Oh, he checked. Okay, I didn't notice that he checked the item. Okay, that makes sense.
Did he end up checking the other connector, the other connector from the left?
I don't believe he did. I believe he left that. Honestly, though, this early in cross keys, I think it's fine to not chase connectors. Oh, he did? Maybe I missed it. Oh, hey, speaking of Thieves Town.
So
well,
this
now,
is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say now we get to see Kuchiri decide to just take it to the back, take it to blind, just decide to just go for it, and just opt to leave the big chest, or just does the front four and leaves for now, because you might be thinking, well, I do have like a lot more things I could be doing at the moment.
The main issue, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Kuchiri doesn't have the hammer yet. He has not been to Skull Woods, so he actually can't do it.
That is the main issue I was referring to. This situation where, because Amarith went into Skull Woods out of logic and Kuchiri didn't, he won't be able to finish the dungeon completely, whereas Amarith will, even though you are leaving the big chest out because you don't know what these on small key is at. And subsequently, Kuchiri has yet to go back to the front of escape to get that moon pearl.
Well, Kuchiri is actually gonna dive at the back without the hammer. Well, granted, he doesn't know where the hammer is. It could be anywhere, but the only thing with Thieves Town is there's no fast route through Thieves. It's even if you've already cleared the back, you're pretty much going to be doing this whole run anyway the entire time. Revisiting Thieves is a little slow.
It can be slow. The one thing if you
also, sorry,
it is pretty much a soft checkpoint in a way is just getting the the attic bombed and the chest done. Just that, and I mean, and I do mean soft checkpoint, because if you don't, if you get it by like, if you've already bombed it and you end up like having to come back through Fuse Town, all you really need to do is just hit the switch and then just walk out.
Amarith is going to attempt to do a swordless version of that bomb jump, which, granted, I have no idea what the swordless lineup is. I only know the sword lineup for that bomb jump. It doesn't work out, and honestly, I think that was part of her plan anyways. If it doesn't work out, oh well, I can check where left goes. Not the end of the world. And then now, this is a thinking moment.
Yeah, this,
maybe debating going back to Skull Woods, because now you have the Fire Rod and you have the Skull Woods big key. So if she really wants, she could just go straight back there. Kuchiri's out of magic, and is going to have to do a little bit of awkward clearing here. Gets it done.
we do find our first pods.
Mirror.
Yeah, we do find our first pods small of the game here, but more importantly, that mirror.
Yeah, early mirror, and Kuchiri does not get to make it to blind cell, which that would be in logic still. He's getting to that cell, so Kuchiri's gonna have to opt to leave it for now, and hope that the maiden cell is not gonna bite him later.
So here, this spot, it doesn't really feel that nice for Amarith, because she just got through the top of the bumper cave top entrance, because it was part of a connector. So from that, that means, oh great, I would have to do this again just so I can get check the Death Mountain descent exit.
Yeah. And yeah, Danny, it's the blind cell's not in logic, but you're still sitting there thinking, I just spent all this time and I'm out one check. Oh, that Kibto got bounced in the absolute worst position for Amarith.
Yeah,
absolutely came in for the body block.
Yeah, that's
straight up Mr. President on Amarith.
That's sometimes this game just does things. It doesn't care about your feelings. It just does it.
Okay, now we've got. Granted, Amarith only has. Yeah, just walk out and reset. Amarith only has 2 hearts. Just granted, resetting from the store, it's honestly not that big of a deal. Swordless bomb jump is a little bit of a pain. Not the worst, but it is a pain.
Yeah, you can. One of the nice things with the pseudo is that you still can do like those minor boots adjustments. So which I figured out, which is like, oh hey, you can all do this.
Yeah, you can still tap and dash with boots to make little itty bitty adjustments, and looks like that wasn't. I honestly thought that might have worked. Kuchiri, meanwhile, is just going to be using that flute to its maximum advantage and just clear out a bunch of out of the way locations, and honestly gets a kind of efficiently route in a lot of the world.
Just Amarith's having a lot of trouble with this bomb jump, and I was meaning to mention this for a little bit, but Kuchiri did find an Ice Palace from Mini Moldorm Cave.
Which I mean, without a glove or a hammer, is not exactly the most tempting place to go.
No.
Amarith gets it, and the reward is $20. As long as you don't get body checked by one of these guys.
If I want, if I were to play it a little bit safe, I would have just taken a def again for refills. We get Hookshot Cave.
This is a. Well, let's see where the other location of Hookshot Cave is. Is this gonna be a weird logical access to some location, or is this gonna be, hey, this is Desert East connector? Won't be able to get anything here. No.
About real boots or
And
hook shots.
Top
Yeah.
of the mountain, which actually is great for Amarith right now. Well, she can actually do quite a bit here. And
Right.
we have the TR entrance as ether locked, and I'm surprised she didn't use her mirror to check up there. Okay. Arrow game. Finds as a checkerboard with a map. A map to GT. Worthless.
Yeah, one of the two useless maps in in Anti Sanity mode. Amarith's gonna go ahead and play the arrow game here.
Yeah, my honestly at this point, arrow game is mostly if you have Zora on your mind.
So with that Skullwood Mall, provided that Kuchiri ends up heading over to or I guess this we're saving quitting here. I was gonna say, provided if Kuchiri does head to the front of Escape, that will incentivize him to go over to Skullwoods, I believe, and that does eventually result in the hammer.
Yeah, he just went straight to the back and decided to just opt to leave out the front, which is an interesting play. But
we found book on the over on Amarith's side.
And we have Skullwoods sitting here. So Skullwoods right now is lamp locked, and also, well, sword locked. And 3 smoky locked for the back, but we know where it is. We know where Flippers is.
Right, and to answer a question from the chats, Amarith's MSU pack is the high quality RIP MSU or the Siva Gunner MSU pack. So if you're familiar with what Siva Gunner high quality RIPs are, you probably know where this is going.
Mm-hmm. It is a very fun pack to use. Okay, so Kuchiri does not have Zora money. I'm curious if he will go that way, or if maybe this is just hobo for now and then flute off somewhere else.
Amarith finds the Good Bee Cave, which is the opposite side of Ice Rod Cave. And
finds Castle Tower.
So Castle Tower is interesting, because that is, you can get 2 items, but only one of them is in logic.
We need lamp for the other one to be in logic.
And there's the real boots. Okay.
Nothing's gonna stop Amarith.
That
if she's
is
comfortable with finding the torch in the dark, then she'll be just fine.
There you go. Now just gonna make sure that that guard doesn't kill you. Oh.
And getting back up will be a little bit more difficult now.
Yeah, that's the thing. If with Amarith running out of magic here, that means she'll have to do this in the dark, and that's a lot worse. A lot of a worse out situation. And yes, I did it in a way curse Amarith. I'm sorry.
So we just have a piece of heart on Zora Ledge for now. So Kuchiri is just going to be opting to honestly probably leave Zora for now. It's going to be orphaned out, or check it with Catfish, more than likely. Yeah, Castle Tower in the dark is annoying. Doable, But again, Amarith is on a 3-heart screen mail situation at almost 40 minutes into the seed, which is honestly impressive.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing these under 3 hearts, like just starting equipment, like starting starting defense, because that is like, there's a lot of things that can kill you on 3 hearts. Tons and tons of things that can kill you on 3 hearts.
I think she got herself lost in the maze. I think she's in the top left part right now.
I mean, in a way, the bee is helping find a way, but just ends up having to. It's just gonna go ahead and mirror and to reset this.
Yeah, honestly, given with where this is located, I would personally make the call to just leave it and come back later.
That's what I would. If anything, I would have just left the I would have left the just left after getting the first chest. I wouldn't have pursued further if I had ran out. I missed.
I would give it a one. Yeah, I would give it a definitely give it a shot. But at this equipment, it's better to just you can just leave it. You can get back, especially because once she digs around more, she'll find the flute, and coming back here will be a bit more trivial.
Right, and I should probably mention so just clarify. I would leave after if I had died and I had ran out of magic. It's like there's no reason for me to just pursue at this with this little of equipment, and just yeah.
Yeah, this is a lot of. This is kind of the second time this happened this seed. It's a lot of time commitments for failed attempts, and I get wanting it to do it because it is an optimal play to make. But at the same time, if it doesn't work out, you kind of keep dying and failing at it. It's just gonna end up eating a lot more time than it's worth, even if you end up succeeding after several attempts.
So at that point, with the save quick coming out from Amarith, she's just gonna take those boots and just go elsewhere.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah, tap out. Finally end up going to Kakariko. Which is where she will find her HP. First of all. She'll find some HP. She'll get her ice rod. She'll get her flute in the near future.
Did Kuchiri ever follow Fairy Ascension Cave down, or just saw it and just said no?
I don't remember at this point. It's hard to keep track of all where if I don't have my own map up with connectors going, I am going to forget where connectors go.
Our tracker did confirm that Kuchiri did see it but didn't pursue further. So this is what. So this is going to be new information for Amarith and for us.
Deciding, you know what? I have an excuse to not check Kakariko. I'm going to take this. Oh, it's right back here up on the mountain. Well, this is perfect, because now she can go to the left side of the mountain.
Right, yes. And this is good in that situation. However, dead rocks are going to be dead rocks and already down to half a heart. And it looks like... Oh, is it on?
She has boots, so she can just get the fairy.
It didn't spawn, or did? No,
she got it.
Okay. I for some reason thought it didn't spawn because it just I thought there was too many sprites on the screen, but I guess it just she bounced on the top and got it.
Yeah, yeah, she got it in the first round.
Right. I can't see.
It is fine. But we do at least have an easy peasy connector to go back to the top of the Dark Death Mountain, which is pretty convenient. Could be worse, especially once you have the flute.
So Amarith found. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say Amarith has found the other side of the bottom of the other side of Spectacle Rock from Light Hype.
Yep, they both did the same thing where they found that first and then had to drop down, and they find mirror and they're like next check. Wishing that they had that mirror when they were up there. We got Pod here. Now, this is probably the longest I've seen someone in a cross keys race have 3 hearts green mail still. This is 45 minutes in. This is impressive of how stingy it's been with HP on her end.
This has been a pretty reoccurring theme with these with this week with pseudo boost cross keys. We've been having a lot of these really bad seeds where it's either like super stingy or just the logic is just a logistical nightmare.
Going for the potion camera unlock and pod, which is great because of how quick it is. Art is faster than mimic clipping, even if you're really good at mimic clipping, it's still fast.
I refuse to learn mimic clipping. You can't change my mind about that. But yeah, just to kind of briefly summarize what a potion camera unlock is for those who aren't aware. Basically, you're by using a potion when moving left in that room with the Baris, the game will, for whatever reason, unlocks the camera. And given how kill rooms work in A Link to the Past, as long as enemies are off the screen, like from the camera, it's like, okay, the game just says, okay, they're all dead, just open the door.
Yeah, I don't know why in that room in particular the potion unlocks it. Weird super tile stuff. Ooh, that hook shot is really good. And fully in logic too. Yeah, nailing that thing with the... Honestly, she can just jump down, hit it with the hook shot, and then just jump off. Or just go for the bomb method. So yeah, that one key does put this hook shot in the logic. Finally, the first heart on Amarith's side. 47 minutes in. What? Amarith is now at 4 hearts. We've done it.
There we go. And a couple more heart pieces too. And another one. Looks like Kuchiri took an overworld death on the way to, I guess, Village of Outcasts?
Yeah, this looks like it was going towards Vu or Skullwoods, even. Amarith gets knocked down. I'm not sure if that was a bad setup or weird elevation values because of what the enemies dropped. One or the other.
I had to look at it again, but I would like to believe it looked like that was the correct position, but it may have just been a sprite 0.
Yeah, this could have been something weird. I use a different setup, so I'm not 100% sure.
Well, 0, not sprite 0.
I know what you mean. Alright, now hopefully you can get through this maze.
Your information coming out from Kuchiri is just a fairy fountain.
Yep, nothing of value. But I understand coming back for it, because you don't know what could be there at this point. Mirrors early in logic. Small key to swamp, so that's 6 pod small locked for the for Swamp Palace. Which could actually be somewhat important. Alright.
So yeah, this is on the way of Village. I think it was on the way to Village of Outcasts or here Oh, I guess we're gonna do Paradox Cave because this is new information that we're getting. Although,
Yep.
oh,
Accidentally walks into his own bomb and takes an unfortunate death afterwards. Getting at least for Kuchiri, getting back to North Dark World doesn't take that long. It's basically like a 30-45 second time investment to get back, which is unfortunate, but
looked like that time the potion camera unlock didn't fire.
It didn't fire, and also I don't think Amarith has anything left she could. Oh no, she did. I think she left Stalfos' basement.
I believe that's the case.
Yeah, she was going back for Stalfos. Trying to route in pod with one key and opting to just go right side instead is a little awkward. You're gonna orphan the basement potentially unless you just do it first and then go through right side pod again. Desert Legend Ether, which Kuchiri did peek earlier, might be important. You never know in cross keys. It is required to get to the TR entrance, but who knows if that's even remotely required.
Right, and so Amarith will go ahead and find Thieves Town. She does have a means to finish to kill blind with, but does not have that Thieves Town big. That's the problem.
Did she not get it out of Eastern? Did she die on her way to it?
She did end up dying in the Eastern Palace. According to our tracker came here.
Yeah, that makes. Yeah, she died right before the Thieves Big. Unfortunate. It's unfortunate because she might opt to just leave that check until she has Eastern Big Key.
So here's some new information from Kuchiri. Here in this top of spectacle of a Paradox Cave. We have Samaria and a Turtle Rock Small.
Terra Small, important for logic. Red Cane, probably required. Very unlikely it's not going to be required in some capacity.
And our tracker is pointing out that we have not seen a map check from any of our runners, and the front of desert is the front of desert. Joy.
Hell yeah, vanilla. Here we go. So, Amarith doesn't have the desert big key yet, because I believe that was in Kakariko. Well, it's a compass Eastern.
Not really an incentive to go to Eastern at all, because compasses don't really do much.
Okay, nothing on the torch. So right now, Amarith is locked out from really doing anything else.
Yeah, it seems like on both fronts, like on both sides of the table, it's just
Desert West and Desert East.
What the?
All right, where is Desert East then?
If Desert East is Desert West, I'm going to just cry.
Oh, please let Desert East be a Desert West. That'd be hilarious.
I'm going to cry if that's the case, because like, what are the chances of a practically vanilla desert when that's not usually the case, and that's often for Skull Woods?
All right, well, let's see. Moment of truth. Where's Desert East?
Okay, it just leads out to the Village of Outcasts. Okay, I think we saw this earlier, but I don't know.
Potentially. Alright, you're gonna do. We haven't seen what the hammer house is, which is laser bridge. Getting the first bumper guy is a little awkward. You can move slightly to hit him at an angle instead of straight. Amarith's gonna make sure to spend the key here early. Just in case you have some weird scenario where you get like knocked into the door at Chain Chomps or something and you waste the key and it suddenly becomes a problem. So here we have a sword. Yeah, this is technically all logically locked by either mirror shield or what was it? Mirror shield or an invincibility item, but honestly, who cares about that logic, to be perfectly honest. And we move on. Get a nice sword out of it finally.
Yeah,
First sword.
So I was gonna mention before just smirking at the vanilla desert palace entrance was on both sides of the table. There's just been a lot of unfortunate situations for both players.
Yep. Amarith heading back into Skullwoods. Is this all just to check? No, this isn't just a check ped. I forget, what was it? Skullwoods, back of Skullwoods? Crap. I'm sure that's the reason why she's here.
Hookshot Cave. That's
There we go. I was thinking that she may decide to mirror and check pet while she's here, because that would be literally the best location to do it.
And that is a move that you can do. That's a very uncommon. That is an uncommon thing to hookshot to normally, because you're more used to just hookshotting from the bottom instead of from like the right, because well, you're doing this. You're grabbing the bonk chest first, normally, but here Amarith chose to just hookshot to the first chest with its hookshot locked. You get another Turtlerock small.
All right, we'll get to see on Kuchiri's side what the big chest of desert is, if this is anything important. Amarith opting for this drop down, which is the bomb hut, for $20. Okay, so I think now Amarith has to go to Kakariko, hopefully. You know, at the very least, that ice rod. Because once you grab that ice rod, you know where the back of TR is. You could just, once you pull Samaria, once you pull TR big, you can just go beat Trinix, because why not?
Did I end up missing the big chest? Because I don't think he ended up getting that.
It was,
Okay,
it was an Ice Palace small key.
Okay, I didn't
Nice
catch
to
that.
have.
Yeah, I suppose smalls are nice just for routing purposes. It's not like it's not necessary, but it is nice to have.
Amarith opting to check this without a glove and also without the cane, which would help tremendously. Or she doesn't know it yet, but cane is easily accessible. Well, I need to sit here and pet my dog to make sure he doesn't sit here and make whining noises into my microphone.
We do have a blue boomerang that was from the Arrow game, in the Arrow game shop, or entrance rather, which was Super Bunny Top.
Yeah, getting the cane was in Paradox, which Amarith has seen two of the entrances for.
Kuchiri will get this bow from the race game. I did see it, but it never got a chance to call it out. But yes, there is a bow here.
Yeah, we got to see it barely on the runner screen for a split second. As I just saw the corner of the item, figured it was a bow, because not much is really looks like that.
Starting the big game now for Kuchiri as Amarith is going to make her way to the IPPJ spots. You have a sword now, so you can do the spin clip. But just gonna do it not the spinning clip. You know, that's
No, she ended up on the correct position without having to ledge spin.
Oh, okay. I'm not that. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I spent some time learning the swordless IPBJ literally for swordless week. So I was like, yep, that's the right spot.
I know I saw during the swordless week. I seen people do the boomerang item dash on the ledge to set up for the clip, which was kind of cool. And I actually used that.
That's another GT small. We are almost at GT climb is in logic, or the post Moldorm is in logic rather.
Yeah,
Salvation chest rather.
Yeah, you still need a big key for a GT big key just to start that climb. But
we almost have the small keys.
Right. Yes, I know what you meant. It's just you almost have the small keys, and then at that point you just need like the GT, just need the GT climb or the GT big key just to start the climb. Not a potion shop.
Gonna take a blue goo for the road. Don't blame him. Never know when you might need it. What we got down here? $20.
Right, especially considering too that both players have been just sitting at 6 hearts and green mail.
Yeah, this has been really stingy on the defense department.
Yeah,
offense looking pretty decent other than the swords, but I mean, the seed does give you hammer, fire rod, bow, honestly fairly early. So most of your offense is fine.
Yeah, and this is what I'm gonna mean too, is that Dark World is very, very easy to die with very little hearts. And that's kind of what makes the inverse art very challenging.
Amarith is gonna realize you can't grab that. All you can get is this one chest over here.
Yeah, we do find Sick Kid from Kuchiri does bring out a blue rupee, and we got another bow here.
Well, Amarith knows where her silvers are now, which will make combat for her even easier. Amarith, I remember Amarith. I'm pretty sure she checked race game. Yeah, she checked it. I remember her popping and seeing like the right 2 or 3 pixels of the item. I'm more than positive that she knows it's a bow over there.
So, and Kuchiri's going to be getting that hook shot soon from Pod.
Yep, absolutely. Amarith is going to be following these flippers around. Amarith also does have the money to do Zora, which Kuchiri had to leave behind. Also, Amarith could just beat Skull Woods right now if she so chooses. Granted, you know, it's fighter sword with 6 hearts, green mail. Not the most pleasant moth fight, but definitely doable.
So to answer a question about what Pseudobus is, it's a just essentially just a toggle where you have you have some form of boots that you can only dash with, and that's pretty much the main thing. You, in order for you to have full boots functionality, you need to find the actual boots.
Yeah, so you can't like bonk open walls. You can't you can't even do glitches like water walking or hovering. You can't what was it? You can't bog open entrances. Whatever things that boots let you normally get items or entrances out of, you can't do.
Yeah, so primarily it's just being used dashing, nothing else. You
Yeah.
also your bonk by extension is a lot weaker than than a regular boots bonk. And that can be used in certain situations too, as to your advantage. But those are very situational.
Right, so Amarith opting to just go beat Moth right now because, I mean, why not? You're right here.
You're coming in with 6 hearts, but even then, you're still very much in a very troublesome situation because of those 6 hearts.
Just
And Kuchiri,
play the fight carefully, and you do have a hammer, so if you get just a couple hits, I think at this point 1 or 2 hammer hits is good.
Kuchiri did also get those 2 hearts, so it's now up to 8 hearts, which is good. That's more things to keep him alive. And one thing that I found interesting about this mob fight that I didn't know about is that as Amarith takes a death there, is that if you hit Mothula, it just resets the script that she has.
Yeah, so you can just kind of sit there and just, if you can keep hitting Moth over and over again, even with weak hits, Moth won't actually do the beam attack. Coming back in with no magic is, honestly, it's gonna take time.
Yeah, and this is one of those things where as much as it does cost me time, I do this, even if it means having not having a lot of magic to work with.
Amarith might get a lucky magic drop here off of one of the Gibdos. Gets the full decanter. Because they are part of the magic drop pool, so Amarith can get a lucky reset if the drops are in her favor.
So
it's just avoiding eating enough chip damage on your way through.
So Kuchiri ends up getting the boots from Castle Tower, and this will be the first time we see this check come out for Kuchiri and for this race too, because Amarith took several deaths trying to get to this. It is a big key for GT. Oh.
The deaths that Amarith left have both been honestly kind of painful. Leaving Thieves Big and GT Big both isolated now because she died on the way to them. Which is honestly really, really unfortunate.
Yeah, that is so bad for Amarith. She doesn't know this, but from what we see, this is just very, very unfortunate. As Amarith takes down Mothula, there's only half a heart to spare. There is a big key. This is for Meyer. We also, this was on the crystal was identified already because of the Skullwoods map, but that was a crystal. So that's the first crystal on the board.
If Amarith ends up going back to Paradox, which I think she probably will, more than likely, if only because, I mean, it's 7 items. Just on the table. She will have Samaria, and she will be able to just complete Meyer whenever she finds on her first trip. And hopefully, if she has silvers by then, Vidi is just a joke. And it's more so trying not to die on your way to Vidi. Because you're at 6 hearts. Going through the dark.
So this also is under the assumption that Amarith will head over to Paradox State to get that Samaria.
I would think she'd want to do it sooner rather than later because it is 7 items on the table. 7 very quick items.
Correct.
It's really good density to do.
Yeah, and I would agree so, because it's let's look this way. Paradox Cave is very accessible to get. It is a very, very accessible thing. Here's oh jeez. Kuchiri ends up coming back for Hera, finds out that that's the Eastern Palace big key that was left behind when he was originally going through
So
Hera.
that could be good for Amarith if she decides to just go back and clear Eastern and hopefully goes for the big chest and decides not to just isolate it because she feels like she's behind.
And we've seen this time and time again over the course of this week. The GT claim has had something most of the time. Like, we've just seen this, like, it's constantly, like, it's been, like, these from the seats that I've seen, that GT was required in some capacity.
So we'll see here. Kuchiri left Zora, did not have the money for it. And we'll get to see here on Amarith's end if it's anything valuable. Amount. Is it at least good info? Hera. Honestly not the best. I feel like Hera is one of those dungeons that it's really easy to say, yeah, I'll just blind clear this for info. It's honestly not bad.
But
it's
we'll
a
go
pretty
ahead,
quick dungeon.
But we'll go ahead and check it anyway. It is a crystal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, to me, even if Hera's a pendant and cross keys, I'm probably still going to clear it just because of how fast it is to do so. You can full clear Hera in under 2 minutes. Except for the basement. The basement's the only thing you have to decide on.
Got a Meyer Small in the big chest of Eastern.
So actually, there actually is a left side Meyer is, well, unless I'm not sure if one of those Meyer Smalls is locked behind lamp, because we so far have actually quite a few items, important items locked behind lamp. So I'm actually kind of curious, where in the world is this lamp?
Yeah,
it is apparently important to the seed logically.
Of course, we are talking about logic and cross keys, which most of the time runners will just simply not care about, because it is a very tangled mess.
It's single mess, but it is important to consider for things, because sometimes density is important, but so is, you can sometimes infer things of what might not be quite as valuable. There's little weird things in logic you can infer. In the meantime, we have Kuchiri just going through Eastern. The stream is maybe frozen on our end. I'm not sure if it's Kuchiri's end or something weird's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
And Amarith damaging on purpose. I'm not sure why she stood there. Find sick. Oh yeah, Kuchiri already checked the kit. It was just $5.
Right, and so because there's still some checks that Amarith hasn't done yet.
Apparently, TR big key is on Armos, according to Kamir. Is the video feed up on the stream? It's just us being weird. I'm not sure.
Kuchiri's stream, when I checked the last time it got frozen, was still up.
Okay, so there's just some going on the restream. Okay, that makes sense.
There is a glove on the Bombos tablet. A way to lift heavier things. So, yeah, that's cool, I guess. That glove.
Well, I mean, at least you know it's there. Come back with Master Sword, because you are going to need at least one glove in the seed. Second glove is a bit more debatable, but even then, honestly, it's just really nice to have, even if it's not required. Amarith getting the very lucky fairy there, honestly. And Amarith will be able to grab that silver arrows here fairly shortly. Yeah, this was Paradox. So Amarith is definitely. Wait, no, this is Super Bunny. Sorry.
Yeah, Super Bunny. Yeah, this is that. That's a little bit more. But we are going to see a chain jump check, and that was just 20 rupees. Looks like Kuchiri took a double take to realize, oh, wait a minute, I have, or wait, no, the big job's already checking. Never mind. So, double taking just to go to the Turtle Rock left, okay.
Alright, you figure out it's a bad entrance that you don't have to check anymore. And this will be Amarith getting her silver arrows.
So there's those silvers, and Kuchiri is going to be on the way to do, is going to go ahead and do the King's Tomb entrance check. There's also Graveyard Ledge. We found Saha's hut. Green Pendant is located in Desert Palace.
And in the back of the closet, there's the lamp. There's the lamp that puts things into logic.
Oh, jeez. Now, oh, man.
It really is a case of just get mirror. And then just go to King's Tomb with your boots from Ega Tower. Front chest, which is in logic with not much really. Just mountain access.
Did Kuchiri already see Graveyard Ledge, or did you just pass it up?
I'm gonna guess he saw it if he ran by it like that. I didn't see him go into it.
Kamir did not go to... Kamir didn't go to Graveyard Ledge, or Kamir said that Kuchiri didn't go to Graveyard Ledge, but might have came out of it?
Yes, I'm thinking he may have walked out of it somewhere, but at this point, I really do not remember, to be perfectly honest. There's a lot of entrances to keep track of, and honestly, I probably should have my own map tracker just to double check where things are.
Cross keys, like entrance as a mode is very it's just a single mode is very it has a lot of information to take in. Like there's a lot of entrances in this game. So it's just very easy for information to get lost in the shuffle, as there's so many, as two of the runners are just going to keep going in and out of these entrances. We are going to see Amarith heading into the well, the Cack well. That's...
We've got a red shield. One more shield and that, small key to Hera. Big key to Pod. Small key to Skullwoods. One step closer to Moth Logic. Not that that matters too much, honestly.
And so here's Amarith doing the cack stuff.
Now we're gonna see all the things that Kuchiri did about 45-50 minutes ago.
Still about a sword. So that means you guys got to do that bomb jump again.
Yep, the weird swordless bomb jump, and honestly, I don't like bomb jumping north without a sword. It feels so awkward to me, to be perfectly honest. The lineup is awkward.
Yeah, it's always that the bomb jumping without a sword is very bad. This is how it's low. Like that was very low from like a mile away. So the cane was found in Paradox Cave top.
And Ice Rod is in Mini Moldorm Cave, which is here in Kakariko. Amarith is now going to be touching it, and I mean, she's gonna see Mini Moldorm, she's gonna run in and get her Ice Rod.
Yeah, and seeing the amount of falls that both runners have done with trying to do this bomb jump swordless that's just the nature of the beast, really. With the
It's a bit difficult, honestly.
it is a very difficult thing to do. And that's why it's kind of the reasons why I was, if I have a boomerang, then at that point I would if I didn't have a sword trying to bomb jump, I would do that and boots, mind you. I would do the little item dash with the boomerang to get it signed up.
Amarith is going to be checking the middle of Turtle Rock, which I think at the time Kuchiri had the big key. And Amarith does not.
Both runners have seen that. Because Kuchiri, this will be the first time he sees Hookshot Cave. But this is one of those cases where this is one of the things where you find a connector or that has some items in it, and you just have to make a choice to either leave pedestal or get the items, or like these check the pedestal and get the items. And it looks like Kuchiri is going to just follow where that other connector goes, which is fine. That's just normal because this is the first time he's seen it. And there's that there's it's being spit out to the top of the mountain, Dark Death Mountain.
A scam off the bottle merchant, which I'm actually not sure if Kuchiri even got to do bottle merchant on his first trip, to be perfectly honest.
I think he did.
Here's this gonna be this upcoming Ice Rod.
Okay, so Kame here is saying that he did end up getting, but not the first check, or not, but not on the first check they did. So there's that Ice Rod, and I didn't see what the other items were on that, or the other checks that were, other than Skull Woods was being the Green Pendant. There was Swamp in particular, but I don't know what it was. Looks like the tracker just updated saying it was a pendant, so okay, that's good information to have.
Amarith will get her Eastern Palace big key here, and she does have the hair small, so she could opt to do the basement if she so desires.
But you end up
that
nice.
Just this is being a Moldorm, mini Moldorm, just being an idiot as he normally is.
gonna go ahead and spin speed Harapot up. Does accidentally open the door, but
Yeah, it doesn't really matter if you accidentally open the door, honestly.
unless you're playing HMG, but that's unrelated.
Okay, glitches, then suddenly opening that door can be a problem. But
I'm
Not
related. I'm related. So okay, so we find the blue cane.
hey, that puts that sword in logic. Well, no, it's not in logic. We don't have the Harabig key. Never mind. That sword is not in logic. I'm so used to Harapot just being the hook shot just being the Harabig key, honestly.
Right. And so we'll see a clear of we're gonna head and see a clear of Moldorm here. Does now the question really is, does she end up going back to Hera basement, considering that she just chose to go and just Harapod instead of just going down?
I mean, it doesn't quite matter what order you do it because you're gonna mirror from the basement anyway. The ordering doesn't really matter. It is slightly faster to do it first by all of 2 seconds.
Okay, so she does go back in, which is fine, because that's kind of what we were kind of expecting.
In Amarith's mind, she's still missing quite a few items that this is a worthwhile check to do. I mean, it depends on the kind of player you are, because this is a long time commitment for one check, but honestly, who knows in cross keys? You could just as easily save 2 minutes by not doing it, or just as easily lose a ton of time because there's just a big key just chilling here in the basement the whole time. There's nothing else to it. Crisco, the sword was at the back of Turtle Rock and Laser Bridge.
Yeah,
Which I forget exactly where, but it was somewhere fairly easily accessible.
It was one of the earliest swords that we've gotten.
It is the only sword we found so far, even.
Right.
Kuchiri has yet to find it.
Speaking of Kuchiri, he's gonna head over to the Dark Shopping Mall, which is also
logic. I mean, the only issue with doing Dark Shopping Mall now is you are leaving an entrance behind because you don't have the glove yet.
Yes. It's gonna go ahead and take a look at the Meridia cross game portal. That is the mountain, the Death Mountain Ascent entrance.
And Chicken Hut. For nothing. Well, this entrance is a small bit of a bust. I'm kind of surprised Kuchiri's opting to go up the mountain. Oh, Kuchiri never rescued Old Man.
No. So this is the first.
Since he did left Death Mountain, I honestly kind of assumed he got Old Man. I guess actually, it was Old Man at Hera. Is that why?
Yes.
Yep, Old Man was at Hera. He did not have the mirror on his way over, so that would explain things. Honestly, my brain is just autopilot. I'm just like, oh yeah, you're on West Mountain. Yeah, you just go do your go rescue Old Man, because why not? You're right there.
Ether Tablet is the 10 bombs.
I think it was 3 bombs, but yeah, basically nothing.
It's boomed 10 times.
Oh, I for whatever reason, I read triple boom, and I'm not even sure why.
Speaking
I
of
just
bombs,
read boom and immediately sent. Oh, yep, triple boom.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. Um, so now we have so Kuchiri has now rescued the old man. So Amarith is. Wait, did we not see all of the drop downs?
No, we saw this from Kuchiri a long time ago. Amarith
Okay,
never
okay.
did Kakariko and never did Lost Woods.
True. It's that's fair. Yeah, I cross keys.
Yeah, this is Amarith touching Kakariko finally.
With Ganon being with the drop down, the Ganon hole being where the Seng is, couldn't possibly be at vanilla to answer Kamir.
I think did we? I know we saw Useless Fairy. I don't remember if Useless Fairy was anything. I will sting. Oh, that's a B bottle.
that's new.
All right. Well, last bottle is on Ped.
And something that we're not gonna bother getting because we already have 3 bottles. We're not really.
I mean, even if one bottle was on there, you wouldn't really go for it because chances are you'll find one of your 3 other bottles.
Yeah,
It would have to be an insane seed to have your first bottle be on Ped and have all 3 other bottles be locked behind that bottle.
That is something like that's just straight up Plando territory. That's
It would,
like,
yeah. But it would have to, yeah, it had to be something dumb. Very dumb. Possible, but dumb.
Cherry finds the pod big, and Amarith activates the flute.
Alright, now Amarith can finally start getting some mileage out of this flute. Well, see, come here, that would require Plandoing the 3 other bottles to be locked behind it, and then something really important being on Sick Kid that locks said bottles too. You would have to lock a lot. I don't think you have enough Plando slots to do that, but I guess it's possible.
Anyway.
Kuchiri opting to just go ahead and knock out her basement, and then probably go up and kill Moldorm after. I'm surprised that 90 minutes in, we're still gloveless.
We know of the glove that's on the Bombos tablet, but that's it.
Yeah, we still need to find a second sword to make that possible.
Right, and that's another thing. That's just we don't have that second sword. Kuchiri is. He is. Okay, there it goes.
He may have unironically taken a break and stepped away for a moment during that.
That probably was the case.
He probably legitimately stepped away and did something.
I mean, it's not as crazy as like literally making a sandwich mid-race, like call it a timeout and making a sandwich mid-race. That's what happened with Gamachu and what was it?
Yeah, was it Scary Olive, I believe?
Scary Olive, that's what it was, yeah.
That was hilarious. Absolute 10 out of 10 content I expect from the league.
You should definitely watch that VOD, by the way. That was a pretty good race, all things considered. even with all this with the sandwich shenanigans.
The sandwich shenanigans made it better. What are you talking about? Yeah, hooked up. I mean, technically, if you get spin speed hair pot off, like first or second try, it's faster than even the really consistent hair pot method right now. But also, the current hair pot method right now is super duper consistent. So there's that.
Yeah, the Lord Raiden setup, all it really just requires you is just one specific imp lineup, and that's it.
Alright, so Amarith is gonna unfortunately not have the GT big key. But this is a completely understandable play to make with how dense it is.
Yeah, and this is a situation where you end up leaving out the big chest. Unless you have Samaria.
And she does not have Samaria yet. Or she does not pick up Samaria yet either. So she will have to leave the right side checks as well.
Right, and then even then you still have to, and even then you still have to do the thing where right. Thanks, Taphos.
Yeah, I think that was legitimately a case of the fighter sword being like 1 pixel short or something, 1 or 2 pixels short, actually stopped her from hitting the Stalfos. Something dumb like that.
This game's weird. Yeah, even then, if you're doing the right side, you still have to make quite a ways to get over to that big chest. Because during this left side play, she will finish up ice arm ups. That heart refill coming in clutch for Kuchiri.
Yeah.
This has been a very back and forth kind of scene. I'm like both good and bad.
Yeah, Amarith has lost a lot of time basically just on the execution on a lot of plays, taking the very unfortunate deaths. But those plays have, generally speaking, paid out.
Yeah.
And Kuchiri is basically just now getting to a lot of the checks that she's made, 45 minutes prior.
And this is also on top of the fact that Kuchiri had taken a number of overworld deaths trying to make those checks.
Mm-hmm.
But
whereas Amarith has 2 very unfortunate orphans at the moment from said deaths.
Yeah, of which
it's the Thieves Big and the GT Big both being isolated at the moment.
Yeah. Of which the GT Big is the second chest in the Castle Tower climb, and the Thieves Town Big was Eastern Palace.
Yeah, Eastern Big Key chest. Granted, she does have the Eastern Big Key itself, and she might just go back for it during then. Which, if she does, great. She'll have the Thieves Big. She won't have to worry about it. Whether the GT Big is required, we don't know yet. It may be possible that there's just nothing in the big chest and nothing in the climb, but to be perfectly honest, with this many GT smalls already, my brain is, my neurons are activating for the climb. Personally.
Yeah, and K-Mirror, our tracker, also pointed out that she did also get a second Castle Tower small, which could possibly push her towards that. But right now, she is on the way to getting that Samaria from Paradox Cave top.
So, what was behind the Lumberjack drop down? Was it anything?
That was the useless fairy, I believe.
Yeah, so the second small key wouldn't push her back necessarily. The only thing that'll push her back is if she ever decides, I want to go check this one chest because I left it behind. Whenever that feeling crops up.
We got our second
sword 2.
Second sword.
Which is glove on Bombos.
Yeah. And there's that Samaria for Amarith.
So that is our glove. Whenever Kuchiri goes to Bombo's tablet and get that glove, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls the trigger on doing Ice Palace potentially. Because at that point you can full clear it and you're looking for info still. He has everything. He has all the keys. Also, we do find that the front of TR is in the right side of Mire. The right Mire shed thingy. I'm not sure exactly what you call it. Which means we do not need mitts for Mire area access with that mirror. We can just do whatever here.
So this is all new information that we're going to be getting.
$100 and a map to Eastern.
Which we already had information about because Kuchiri had ended up had finished up Eastern originally.
Yeah, I mean, you have a bow and the big key. Why not, honestly?
So
and yes,
at this,
hi Hunty, you're making lots of tippy taps. Hello.
So, as K-Bear is pointing out, we just need to find the Mire entrance, just so that that becomes a no mode for both of these players.
Yeah, we can actually clear a lot of dungeons, and we can probably just end up inferring our crystal situation just off of that.
There's
yeah,
the
actually,
glove.
Oh, there's the glove. Actually, how close do we? So, I think go mode right now depends on. No, we can clear swamp. Actually, at this point, Kuchiri could clear every dungeon. I think.
Yeah, still missing on the Mire entrance.
Yeah, that's all we're looking for.
Yeah, but still needs the Mire big key as a result.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Kuchiri does not have the Mire big key. Amarith has it. So he's not quite in go mode, but probably will eventually get there.
So this is now I guess, more of a pivotal moment for Amarith. She still needs to head back. She has to head over to the castle tower to get that GT big, which could well
do we
I think,
we don't need GT at this point, do we?
I don't think so, no, but I'm just gonna throw it out there.
She probably needs the thieves big. We don't. Yeah. We only know one pendant so far.
Yeah.
Or no, we know two pendants. Actually, swamp is a pendant apparently. From a map. How did that not land on that ledge? That's weird. Okay.
So
yeah. So that GT big key being left in Castle Tower is honestly fine. If anything, that could be bait even.
Yeah.
We might need Glove Khmer if we need to beat Ice Palace.
Yeah, so in her mind, she might run back to, well, because if I'm gonna say it, I think in her mind she might, if she is feeling Castle Tower again, she might do it. Although it might be a less likely possibility. That would result. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was good. Oh.
Oh my god.
Just go.
Okay. So in my mind, I think it makes sense to go to Eastern Palace right now because you do not know your scenario, but you can complete Eastern. You can clear it if only just for Crystal Pendant info. In turn, if she full clears it, she gets the big key to Thieves, which also makes that a tempting dive for, Crystal Pendant info. that big key to Thieves would basically put her in a almost go mode where she just needs a TR big key. Effectively, at this point, Kuchiri needs Meyer big, and Amarith needs TR big. And the TR big, and Trinex gives you your sword for go mode, or your go mode sword, basically.
Correct. Yeah, and so in both situations, you're just like, well, what do we want to do here? So, like, I don't know. We're gonna have a blind fight here for Kuchiri.
Gets knocked off. He gets knocked off script at the end, but it honestly doesn't matter. So that's a confirmed pendant swamp on Amarith's side, which Kuchiri already checked earlier. So now, what is that? And the last pendant is on Thieves. Amarith doesn't even need the Thieves big off of Eastern.
So that just means you just need Turtle Rock big to put yourself in sword mode, and which would be a direct play over to it's a direct play to Turtle Rock at that point, which gives you the sword you need for go mode.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, I think both players do need to just dungeon dive. Just keep clearing dungeons. Just clear. Hope you're right. At this point, Kuchiri has to know that Kuchiri knows the crystal situation. So Kuchiri is confirmed. I am just in Meyer Big Go mode. That is all. That is the only thing that Kuchiri needs for go mode. He has everything else.
Not just that, but also finding Meyer entrance, I believe.
That is true. I keep forgetting we have not found the Meyer entrance somehow, which is actually a little worrying. Oh, hey, look, a sword in the Hera big chest.
Oh, and considering where the Meyer, from how the Eastern big key or the Terra Hera big key was found, kind of late.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Amarith is probably looking at a Master Sword Silver's Ganon, which kind of sucks, but you do have silvers, so it's honestly not terrible.
Yeah,
at least it's not Master Sword Silverless.
Yeah,
Master Sword Silvers is fine. Slower than Tempered, but fine.
Yeah, you only have to do 28 spins as opposed to the full 52.
Hammer was in Front of Escape had the Moon Pearl. Hammer was in Skullwoods.
Okay, she's on the way to getting that Turtle Rock biggie. This is good.
I thought this was Thieves, or was this Turtle Rock?
This is.
I'm pretty sure this is Thieves.
Oh, this is Thieves. This is Thieves, right? Okay. No, okay. So you're right. Turtle Rock biggie was on Armos, right? I forgot. I for some reason thought Turtle Rock big was here around the big key chest, not Thieves big. They're both dungeons with that sort of T, so.
Honestly, if anything, getting this chest is bad for Amarith just because she might 50-50 whether Thieves is required or not. She's not gonna know, so she might just clear Thieves unnecessarily just because she's looking for info. So Amarith is going to basically unknowingly hit go mode here in a second.
Well, find Meyer go.
Yeah. Which one of the gloves is... Well, so she already knows where one glove is. And the other glove Kuchiri grabbed earlier, I forget where exactly.
That was Mimic Cave, I think.
Yeah, Mimic Cave. So if it turns out it's locked by Mitts, then well, we do know where that is.
Yeah, so this will be a quick almost fights for Amarith.
And at this point, I would not be too surprised if it's midst locked.
Okay, so there's that Turtle Rock Big. As Kuchiri has knocked down Helmasar King.
Yep, and I'm pretty sure Amarith realizes at this point that she just needs to just hit dungeons. She just needs to go, go, go. Clear. Just keep dungeon diving. You will reach the end. So let's see, where does she head next? Oh, this is Turtle Rock. So she is gonna head into Helma. And in turn, she's gonna get her sword, which means she might honestly probably is gonna be really tempted to grab that glove because it's probably gonna be needed at this point. Since we still have not found Meyer yet, I would assume it's more than likely mid-locked at this point. I'm not sure what entrances available that we haven't checked.
And so here we go. After checking the Crystallola room for Amarith, she's gonna go ahead and head to fight Trinex. This will result in her sword.
Unfortunately, that second Smarta beam just gets blocked by the anti-fairy. Slightly slower, but not that big of a deal at the end. Meantime, we've got a Kuchiri running through ice, not hitting the switch because... Or did he hit the switch? I don't remember. I mean, he has all keys, so it really does not matter at that point, to be perfectly honest.
Just to remind people that were just that are watching this too, there's this race still has some significance as far as the standing is concerned with the Terra of Hair division. If Amarith were to win this gives NDA a good opportunity to try and to get the second playoff slot.
Yeah, there's currently a lot of fighting for slot number 2 in that division. We have, I mean, the first place team is honestly at this point more or less locked in. It is a large fight for second place though. There's a lot of teams vying for that spot.
Yeah, as it stands, Honest Paradise has locked in their playoff berth. So it's just a matter of who's coming out seconds at that point. So there goes Trinex for Amarith. This will result in her second sword. So it's now all she has to do is try to find Meyer, and then that will result in go mode for Amarith.
My question is, will she opt to just do thieves or not when she finds it? Because granted, she doesn't know yet that it's not required, but we'll see. At this point, it's a. Do you decide? Do you opt to just clear ice, or do you opt to clear thieves? And she's opting to go back, and she might be looking for the other glove at this point. Other glove, or even ether, because I mean, TR is ether locked. The TR entrance is ether locked. It is very possible you would need mitts and ether for it to be up there.
She does know of that other glove that's on Bombo's tablet.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But she doesn't know where the second glove is. She hasn't found Mimic Cave yet.
Correct, and that's and that is going to be necessary for that ice play. I don't know if she knows the connector to the mire. I think that information was already just given out because of the fact that she got spit out. The front of Turtle Rock is mire, and that's a very, very rough death for Kuchiri, and taking that death onto Cold Stare. Okay, here's putting up mire for Amarith. There's Hotel Mario. Still not it. At least the waterfall fairy gives out the blue potion.
You get free blue goo on your journey.
Amarith will go ahead and pick up that ether medallion.
And yeah, McConnell, yeah, the two routes have been basically the complete opposite. They've it's like Amarith kind of started at the end of Kuchiri's route. Kuchiri started at the end of Amarith's route, and they at some point halfway through the seed passed by one another. And Amarith forgetting that once again it's been almost 2 hours and still gloveless.
It's been it's been tough, really.
Yeah, the gloves are pretty hidden in the seed, to be perfectly honest.
it has. She should know one of them.
Yeah,
but
assuming she tracked it down, one glove is in Bombo's tablet. Actually, it wasn't that cave Mimic? Desert North? Yeah, Desert North was Mimic Cave,
ooh.
Which had the glove. She forgot to mirror to it and decided to leave, which getting back to the desert area is a little bit of a problem.
So it looks like Kuchiri ended up deciding to forfeit this race out. So we do have Kuchiri here in the booth of us right now.
Hello,
Go.
Kuchiri.
Hi. I thought I was in go mode until about Ice Palace.
What were you missing for ice?
Oh no, I'm missing Mire entrance, and I dipped out of the whole desert area, and I don't know how to get back there, and I forgot to check this tablet, which Arterial Art told me that this was my mitts. But I had no way to get back here that I thought of. Like, if I go back in the Trinex room, would it have kicked me out back at Mire?
No, but you do have enough TR smalls to just go through, like, TR right or left, and just go to the front of TR.
Okay. Yeah.
You just have you just have to travel through TR to the front once more so you make it back to the mire area, which is extremely annoying. Don't get me wrong. it sucks.
I only have 3 TR smalls. When I have gotten key locked by trying to go south of because
Well, so remember, you spend 1 key to open up the south door, then you kill the Pokey, who drops a key.
yeah, but then I also got vanilla big key chest, so I took that key from Pokey to do that.
Yeah, I mean, on the tracker, it says you have 3 TR smalls, so as long as you didn't spend one on the door above Chain Chomps, you have enough.
Okay, that's it. That's in
Which,
Amarith.
generally speaking, you don't spend it on
Yeah.
that door.
So Amarith is about ready to go up there. That's right. Okay, or not. So where was
And
the
honestly,
mire
there's
pig?
let me VOD dive to grab it, because Amarith had it actually for quite a bit, if I remember. Just doing a quick VOD dive. Oh, it was on Moth.
I was going to do Moth next. Whoops.
Yeah, you kill Moth, you get the mire big, and we actually have not found the mire entrance yet, to be perfectly honest.
So
It's probably Mitz locked.
The only entrances I had left was Dark Shopping Mall, TR, which I could have opened TR now with the mitts. Oh, that's
So, out of curiosity, why did you choose the forfeit?
because I thought I couldn't get back to the mire area.
Okay.
I
suppose it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, I totally thought I was completely screwed there, and I didn't check all the mire area. I mean, I got my glove, then I got my pod small, and then in my mind I was like, "Oh, I'm in go mode. Let's go." You know, like, and then that's why I went straight to Thieves Town, be it to find out that Ice Palace was my other crystal. Then I went straight to Pod, used that one pod small to go straight to Helma. Then I went to Ice Palace. And then it wasn't until I did the icebreaker when I realized, oh crap, I haven't found Mire yet. And I don't have the Mire big. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, it was quite amusing watching this seed. So Amarith, to me, notorious cack skipper. Watching you clear cack and having all this HP and nice stuff, and Amarith diving Dark World pretty much immediately because she ended up pulling the Moon Pearl very quickly in the seed. And Hammer was in the first like 10 minutes.
I got Fire Rod right away. I know that.
Yeah, because Fire Rod was in that chest.
Yeah.
In the map chest from Escape. It was amusing, basically, the checks that you did the first 10 minutes are the checks that she did at like an hour 40 in, and the checks that she did the first 10 minutes are some checks you did closer to hour 40 in. So both of you started at the exact opposite ends of the route. You just kind of met up in the middle. It was fairly amusing, honestly.
Now I'm kicking myself. I really am.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Now Amarith is going to take forever to get back to those gloves.
Yeah, she accidentally left Mimic Cave behind.
Yep.
She didn't mirror. She didn't mirror and decided, I'm just gonna leave. I know where one glove is anyway. I'm just gonna use it to go beat stuff. And at the rate it's looking, it's either the other entrances over there, or it's just locked.
I mean, yeah, no, it's could be Dark Shopping Mall. Looks like Amarith is going to go ahead and do GT here.
She doesn't have the GT big key. She's only doing right side. So actually, she found it actually took Amarith 45 minutes to find her first heart.
Ah.
So when she went to Castle Tower, she had 3 HP and died at it like twice on her way to the second chest because she didn't have enough magic for fire around at that point. So just trying to blindly to the second chest at 3 hearts green mail and died twice and decided to leave. Leaving that GT big behind. And as it turns out, you really don't need the GT big key. Slightly worried that leaving that behind would end up biting, but honestly, I also wouldn't be surprised. Oh wait, no, she actually has
I feel so bad for forfeiting, but like in my mind, I was like, well, it's in desert, and I skipped like 5 entrances in desert, so I'm boned.
It happens, really. I totally understand, like, really.
Yeah, it's to me, the way I think about it is it's easy to feel bad about stuff like that happens, but at the same time, in the moment, you don't know what catastrophes are going on the other racer.
Yeah.
They could also just have their own crisis going on of panic. You really never know.
I think also that death to Cole just kind of full tilted me. I didn't get into my menu in time.
Yeah, I mean, especially because both of you are still on green mail. You really don't have a lot of health. Those puffs do a ton of damage on this current situation.
But see, if I would have kept on checking desert, I would have found blue mail, which would have just made that easier. I got silvers, I got, tempered.
Yeah, but you thought you rightfully thought that you're in full go mode, and it can be easy to forget that you haven't found an entrance to a dungeon almost 2 hours into a seed with everything that you've checked. Okay, well, that's where Bumper Cave goes, up the floating island, which I don't think there's anything up here.
Nope.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, Meyer is mids locked at this point. Because I just got them checking the non-mids checks. Ooh, that sucks. Anyway, thank you for commentating. Sorry that I forfeited early.
It's okay.
It is alright.
Enjoy the rest of this.
Okay. All right. So with that, Amarith, it's gonna have to find that. It's gonna have to find that myths some capacity. At least have to go back, make her way back to Meyer some way. It might just not be in your mind at that point.
Well, Kuchiri did say that he just checked all the other glove lock checks. I'm assuming he went to Dark Shopping Mall. So, Amarith is gonna get the news about Meyer here shortly, I think.
True, yeah.
That it is in some capacity mids locked. That, or it's just, I mean, she must know that she definitely knows she left that entrance behind.
So this is the chicken hut that we saw earlier. That was nothing.
Yep.
There's the front of Death Mountain Ascent off of Meridia, which we again we already seen.
Yeah, so Amarith should know to get her way back to it. Because I remember TR East is pretty accessible. I think even West is too. it kind of sucks having to walk all the way through TR just to go through a door, use it as a connector. Using TR as a connector is pretty bad, honestly. I hate it.
Yeah, it's very very long, like unnecessarily long. Like
And riding through all those tubes just takes a while.
Not to mention having to do the doing the maze and having to drain the platforms and stuff. It's just a long dungeon to deal with. We have found the dam on Amarith's side. It just doesn't lead to anything.
I wonder if she's gonna end up doing swamp looking for those mitts.
Okay, so this is a catfish play for Amarith.
Yeah, this is gonna be a series of we know exactly where her go mode is. She's just gonna have to find our way to it eventually.
Yeah, this is always just the tricky thing is that you're so close, and yet you're just going around just scratching your head. Where could it possibly be? This is I think this is a way to turn a rock.
I would assume that Amarith has kind of ran out of non-myth checks at this point. Because she has kind of gone through the whole gamut of entrances. So either this is going through TR, or this is just to, well, go clear another dungeon out, because she does have a lot of dungeons available to her too. And I wouldn't be surprised, instead of to just, go ahead and clear those dungeons, because I mean you have to anyway. But no, this is going back to the front of TR.
So this
back
will
to
lead
my
to
area we go.
To Meyer, yes, leads to Meyer. So this
also, I didn't get to see what the Meyer medallion was, but
it was
that may have
Bombos.
been- Okay, so they've had bombos for a while, so
Right. Yeah, and so this should lead her way over to Mimic Cave, which will result in her mitts.
which is at that point just eventual go mode. Because at that point you have every entrance in the game available to you. You're guaranteed to find your way.
And yeah, as our restreamer Artero has pointed out too, that only leads out to Hotel Mario, the Meyer entrance.
Okay. I forgot what it was exactly, to be perfectly honest.
Alright, we have some mirror checks here. This is the Checkerboard Cave entrance. And there's Meyer.
It was just here the whole time.
So that go mode for Amarith.
Togepi, the reason why Amarith is still playing is because effectively to win, you still need to complete the seed. At this point, she has an infinite amount of time to finish the seed, but you still need to complete it to win.
Yeah, and if I remember this right, I don't know if this is correct, but doesn't adult forfeit result in like a, I don't know actually.
I'm actually not sure in league rules what a double forfeit results in. It might result in a tie, I would assume.
That's what I'm thinking, but I'm not an admin, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. Okay, well at this point she should know she's in go mode. And I think this is also late enough that she maybe already saw the forfeit and might just be looking for another sword just to make Ganon comfy.
Yeah, and this is so yeah, if you're it is stated within like just in general tournament rules, if an early forfeit were to come out on one runner, you would still have to the other runner would still have to would have to finish the seed out in order to register the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is just Amarith. Is this just Amarith doing on the way check? Yeah, I think this is just on the way checks just to see if maybe she just pulls the sword out or something.
It's just
something to make the seed nicer.
Yeah, proximity checks, really.
So as it turns out, those mitts aren't even required at all. You just had to come here.
Okay, so she does go down to 1 heart, but she does have blue potions. I do recall that. Or at least a blue potion, because she didn't bother to get the other one. Like to get more.
Now she gets a nice silvers Vidi fight.
Yeah, so but then the early hits were kind of bad, but she's got plenty of hearts to back it up, so
yeah. And it's just silvers for phase 2, which is just a joke.
And the Meyer combos ended up being on the boss. Funny.
Always love it.
And so that
she doesn't know she needs to do thieves or ice yet, but I mean she can do both, so she just needs to just run around and do dungeons.
Yep. You're just well, she is luring away, it looks like.
Well, she doesn't need the mitts, and she knows where the other dungeons are. There's no point for her sticking around at this point.
Right. I was more wondering if that fluid tells me that I don't think she is considering thieves sounds an option, but then again, you still have to clear out pod. Either way, so before she makes a decision.
Yeah, I mean, do pod, and hey, maybe you just get lucky, and you find a map to one of those dungeons on Helma or something. Go ahead and grab those arrow refills, because you don't know, you'll probably spend a couple more arrows, and you want to make sure you have 4 for Ganon.
Okay, so now as Maris will soon be fighting fighting Helmasar here. All right, Amarith will start the Helmastar King fight right now. And so then after this, just kind of make a decision. Where does she go from here? Does she go back to try and clear Thieves Town and hope to get lucky, or does she go back to Ice? I mean, either way, it's still a 50-50.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 regardless, and your path through the dungeons are going to be the exact same, so they're both a bit slow, because even if you clear them first, it doesn't change how long it takes to get back to the boss.
Correct. And that's one of the main things about that. So that will be crystal number 6 for Amarith.
Is this? I think this is Thieves, right?
This is
no,
Ice.
This is Ice. This is Ice. Yep. So she'll be on the right path.
Yeah. So
she'll be able to roll out Thieves and just has to run over. Actually, no. This is her last crystal. So.
Yeah. Last crystal.
She just goes beat Ganon.
Yeah. So it seems like in her mind she realized that this is close by. You might as well go through this.
Yeah.
And hey, if this ends up being a crystal, then cool. That's great. But if it's not, then at least we have a flute over to Thieves Town to deal with. Of course, what we know is that this is the right one.
I'll be honest, I do not know this icebreaker setup, but it worked out, so I guess it was fine. Well, she would know it's a pendant.
Okay, so climbing down steps, just gonna use the Samaria here. But, yeah, this will, as you mentioned before, this is gonna be a Master Sword Silver's fight. Not as tedious as it is with a Master Sword Silverless fight, but you're really hoping you got a second sword, or like a third sword rather.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't know why this always makes me laugh. It's just how off it is, and I mean, Cold Stare does look like a Kirby boss.
Coaster does look like Krakow.
Yeah, like the cloud one.
Yeah, with the spikes. But luckily, I mean, the nice thing is that I completely forgot about this. That sword ended up being on.
Yeah,
although
just on Cold Stare.
Or no, we never saw this from Kuchiri because he died to it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I'm getting the sword. I forget where he got his third sword from.
Me too.
On the plus side, she's got a third sword. She just has to go and beat Ganon at this point.
Yeah, I mean sometimes
taking the NMG water portal.
Yep. And yeah, the MSU that Amarith is playing with is the Siva Gunner, or the high quality MSU pack, which is just Siva Gunner high quality whips mixed into like an MSU pack.
Mm-hmm. There she is on Ganon. Walks in and gives him a hug before she has to kill him.
There is a nice position to start just going to town on spins with, or just wailing him in the corner. Whatever.
Yeah,
really
I mean,
works.
to be fair, she has half magic and cape. She can just kind of blow through it, and it doesn't really matter.
Right.
No, you don't do the sword there. Just rude.
Phase for Ganon. So it's one silver in. Nice double.
2 and number 4.
So GG is in the chat for Amarith. And so yeah, this was a quite a tough seed for everyone involved.
Yeah, so this puts an official race time of 2:25:36 for Amarith. And a DNF from Kuchiri.
Yeah, this was earlier on, but with this win from Amarith, this puts NDA in a good position to finish this, to have a good shot at getting second place. And here's Amarith with us.
Hello, Amarith, and GG's on the race.
Yeah, you can call it that. That was a weird seed.
It was, yeah, it was funny going about 45 minutes before you got a single heart. That was funny.
I was just like the entire time, like, can I have some health, please? I mean, like, all these items are nice, but like, trying to get to the back of escape because like you feel like something's there because of how early that small key was, and just like, I'd like one more heart to get through here, or like a magic decanter that's more than just the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more than the one shot, just so you can at least light up the rooms and go through them safely. Yeah, so Kuchiri ended up forfeiting.
Yeah, I was reading about that.
At the 158 mark is when he forfeited. So he had done TR. He beat TR. He ended up in the Mire area. As it turns out, the Desert North was Mitz that you left behind in Mimic Cave there. So he pulled. So that was his first glove, and since that was his first glove, at that point he's calling go mode. Forgetting that for one, I think he forgot that he didn't have the Mire. I think it's either he forgot that he found Mire or that he didn't have the Mire big key. But either way, he left the desert area, and then he couldn't find Mire, and he didn't end up getting the mitts off of Bombos. And at that point, I think he realized that the Mire area was important to go to. Yeah, it's just I think he didn't realize that he had a way to get back there. He just couldn't figure out a way to get back to Mire.
Yeah, it's one of those big things with cross keys that's kind of like a gotcha. Sorry, my voice is still kind of like shot, but like thinking about going out entrances like that from the multi-entrance dungeons is always a little strange. Also, shoutouts to freaking Desert Main and Desert Left.
Yeah, that was actually pretty amusing.
That was hilarious.
Going in Desert Main to find Desert Main, and then going out Desert Left to pop out Desert Right, and just like, huh.
I was praying Desert East went to either Desert Left.
I really wanted it so bad.
Yeah, it was both at the start of the seed, very unfortunate watching. As it turns out, it's completely fine. So the fact that you died in Eastern, you leave the Thieves Town big, At that point, when Kuchiri pulls it, we're like, oh no, this might be required. And then when you left the castle tower, the second chest that had GT big key,
Oh,
which was
yeah, that's
also
important.
oh no, especially with this many GT small keys, that something may very well be up there.
That's why I returned there, I think, like 3 times. I was like, there's got to be something here. But no.
It ended up the things that you ended up leaving behind was perfectly fine.
You know what? I'll take it.
It was really a matter of when do you pull the trigger on Eastern Palace to realize that you're in a kind of a go mode situation. A weird go mode where you don't know where Meyer is and you don't have a glove yet, but you know you're kind of there almost.
I mean, yeah, it was just finding Meyer because I was like, well, map knowledge that I have, it's 50-50. That's either Thieves Town or Ice Palace of the Last Crystals. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. This he just kind of felt a little bad to route. Like, I feel like I could have done a lot better, but, for how good the early game kind of went, we're just like pulling items left and right. Like, that felt kind of good. It was just like the mid game where I started to like lose my focus. I was just like, this is getting a little sloppy.
I mean, you definitely had Pearl and Hammer much earlier because when Kuchiri did escape, he grabbed the fire rod and then immediately went straight to the back, and then he left front of escape for a while. Whereas
I absolutely understand that play.
he took that. He had the fire rod and he had a bunch of stuff to do, and he was bunny walking for a while. Whereas you have Hammer, you do front of escape, you got your Pearl, and I mean the castle small. It was really funny that Sank start is at Pyramid and Pyramid Ledge is Tyrell Castle small. That's funny.
Yeah, that was. That's why I was like, as soon as I found, I was like, okay, we're immediately going back to Hyrule Castle. There's something there.
And then of course, the completely opposite routing you two did, mostly because you decided to go to Kakariko at like what, an hour 20 in or something.
Yeah, because I just wasn't feeling it. There was just constantly something else to do. So I was just like, yeah, I'll get there eventually. And then when I finally got there, I was like, well, this is mostly a bust.
I mean, it was a lot of HP. It's HP, it's Ice Rod, it's Desert Big ended up not being anything. Hera for the Eastern Big Key, and also Crystal was there. And Eastern Big Key leading to TR Big Key. And TR Big leading to a sword.
Leading to my first glove.
Yeah.
Like, what was it, like the 2-hour mark? And it's just like, am I just cursed to never find gloves in this mode? Like,
indirectly, Kakariko was important purely for that Eastern Big Key leading to a silly chain of items.
that's just how it goes sometimes, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, do you have any other real thoughts on the seed?
Throw it in the pile with the rest of them and never let it see the light of day again. Because all seeds are bad.
That's the spirit.
Or just bring someone over to just do a curse seeds investigation on it.
And don't look at that deaths number. That's just ignore that. Those are all dungeon deaths, like for warping, right? Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, they're all on purpose death warps. Mm-hmm.
all 22 of them.
Yeah. Congrats on the win, GG. And that was a unfortunate for Kuchiri situation. But it is a win under your belt, putting you at, was it like, it's like 3 points win, right? So it's like 12 points now.
Yeah, I think that puts us to 12. So we're getting there. Things are starting to look decent.
Yeah.
think it's about time to wrap up. I think. And,
So
we
there's-
got the schedule here on the screen. Division statuses, schedules. Going through the different divisions. A whole bunch of cross keys still happening this week across the Open and Invitational leagues. When is I know there's several matches today on Speed Gaming or on here. There's a lot going on. take a look at any of those channels. You'll find if you click on Speed Gaming or LTTP League, you are guaranteed to find something going on at almost all points of the day. To be perfectly honest, it feels like.
And in some cases,
Yeah.
we have to schedule like really the middle of the night. We got that TM32 God Route versus Bomb Squad at like 3 a.m. for people. So go enjoy
Yeah.
that one.
It's like 3 a.m. US, and I'm pretty sure it's a fine time for Europe. Honestly, it's like
I think it is. It's like mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
Look, come on in and watch some crazy Americans race a god awful hour for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that being said, thanks. If you want to just follow the runners and the crew, go ahead and do so. They put on an absolutely good show for everyone. I'm gonna get out of here because I am absolutely tired right now.
Go get some sleep, Brad.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes. Obviously the thank yous. Thank you to both of our runners, Amarith and Kuchiri. Thank you to Professor Renderer for sitting here in the comms booth. I'm not alone in a comm situation, which is never fun. Thank you to our tracker Kamir for keeping up on a solo on a cross keys, which is somewhat of a nightmare to track, to be perfectly honest sometimes. And to our restreamer today, Arterial. And with that, I think it's time to say thank you everybody for showing up, for watching this race. It's nice to get a couple open. Yeah, it's nice to get some open games up on the schedule here and there instead of mostly invitational. See what's going on in the lower brackets, the fun stuff.
Hey, someone argue that's even more competitive. So
I suppose. Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'm not going there.
All right. With that being said, thank you everyone for watching this, and we'll see you for the next race.